I've been having a blast here in Florida, but before I go home, there's just one last person that I need to go and see, and you guys need to meet.
Hi, welcome.
So while here in Florida, I just had to come by Jenny's. You guys know her, Solid Gold. Jenny, tell them a little bit about your channel and what you do here. These guys have to know you.
So I make videos for the longest time that were all just about goldfish. How to care for your goldfish, what food you should feed them, should you have gravel, should you have a bare bottom tank. Everything to do with goldfish, you name it, it was on my channel.
Yeah, that's right. So, first and foremost, I gotta sit at the desk, just like Jenny does, and we're gonna talk some goldfish.
You're gonna say, hey guys, it's Jenny, welcome to Solid Gold.
Hey guys, it's Jenny, welcome to Solid Gold.
Hey guys, it's Jenny, welcome back once again to Solid Gold. Terrible, I'll never do that again.
So you got a gecko here? I didn't,
Yeah.
Oh, you got the betta up here. I guess we could talk a little bit about the betta first.
And unlike you, Joey, I name my fish, okay? Because they are unique individuals.
So what is his name?
His name is Arlo.
Arlo.
Yes, he is a Dumbo half moon beta, or betta, as some people like to say.
Betta.
So he's got the big pectoral fins that almost look like elephant ears.
Mm-hmm.
So they're called Dumbo or elephant ear beta.
Cute.
He's fun. He's got a lot of personality for such a little fish.
Yeah, absolutely. Really clean tank too. Really nice. And then down low, we got the geckos.
Of course,
She
the
showed me these
geckos.
earlier.
Yeah, I do have a video on my channel where I introduce these guys. One of them is a little more shy than the other, so I'll just take out the more charismatic one. Her name is Sylvia, and then her buddy in there is Lucy. Ooh, they're pretty nice, easy pets to care for. They don't require a lot of my time. She's a feisty
She wants
one.
back in.
She does.
So they're both girls?
They're both girls, yeah. It's best not to keep males and females together.
Just like real life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then she's got this awesome collection, all kinds of stuff all over her desk, but I was really admiring this over here. All of these little figurines. Little secret of mine is I have a little collection just like this, but I haven't shown you guys because it reminds me of having toys, but I couldn't have it. She's got these, all the different varieties of goldfish on these clear plastic sticks, and throughout the whole thing. I've got like ancient fish like gar and arapaima and things like that. Maybe I'll show it to you one day, just not anytime soon.
That's funny you say that about toys. I took longer than most people my age to grow out of toys.
She still has Barbies.
No. I would play with like the Grand Champion horses until I was like 15.
Oh wow.
No shame. I like toys.
She's got all kinds. And she has them displayed so nice. It's actually made me want to start displaying mine. She got a skeleton there. She has goldfish teeth. Gotta see these goldfish teeth. Take those out again.
They're actually way back in the throat of the fish, so in the pharynx, so they're called pharyngeal teeth. And they only have these teeth on the bottom, and on the top they just have a hard chewing surface that they grind against. So they're way in the back of the fish's throat so that you'll never actually get bitten by them. And the reason I have so many is not because I'm sadistic.
She rips them out. She's like a fish dentist.
Oh, that's terrible. It's actually that they're kind of like sharks in that they will grow new teeth, and then when the new one is ready to come out, the old one will just fall out into the aquarium.
So you just find them throughout the tank?
Oh yeah, and most of my goldfish tanks are bare bottoms, so they really stick out like a sore thumb that way.
Then you got some ribs and some scales and totally actually normal. You guys, for those that have watched my live videos, I've shown you guys my collection of stingray barbs and arowana scales. I mean, when they fall off, I feel like I gotta keep them. They're so unique and interesting, especially when they dry out, and they're actually pretty educational. You can learn a lot about them. But all right, we need to see some goldfish, so let's get it moving.
Yeah, some live ones.
So just like myself, Jenny has a little fish house out here, but she has some really big plans for it. They're just in the making, and you know, a lot of things will change, but for now we're gonna see what she has going on out here. You guys are gonna be pretty impressed. All right, Jenny, I guess we should go right around the world here. You've got this big tank here. We'll go right around. She's got quite a bit of tanks out here, far more than I thought. This is the first thing that interested me. What's this all about?
It's like a big sore thumb, right? Because it's this big, awesome tank, really, for, you know, you put so many fish in there and it's empty.
Yeah, big stock
So,
tank.
People always want me to do an update on this tank because I did a video where I was drilling it. would be bottom drained, but there's just nothing to update yet. My plan
Give me time.
Here guys, look at my empty thing. But what I want to do is move it outside, and then my plan was when I'm renovating this space to make it a little bit more of a finished fish room.
Right.
I was going to put all of my goldfish in here.
Awesome.
So they could just live outside and not be, you know, amongst the construction.
Would you bury that or just, no,
Probably
it would just
leave it.
be a holding tank, yeah.
Just leave it.
Yeah. And you got a big door that lifts up to get that in and out, so that's no problem. It's actually not that heavy either. I was picking it up earlier. Should be able to slide it out on our own. Then you got the kiddie pool tanks. This is these are classics. I've seen a lot of people keep these, especially ray keepers that are
really?
quarantining their tanks. They're quarantining the new rays, but
I mean, they hold a lot of volume and they're very cheap. Each one was only about $50. So
what do they hold? Like 75, 100 gallons?
It's close to 90 gallons. It's
90
almost
gallons.
100 gallons. I haven't measured it out.
Yeah.
But they say that it's about 90 gallons per tank.
And it looks like this is a really economical fish house because you're running it all on air, so it's not going to be costing you too much to run. But what do we got in here?
These are my broadtail moors. I actually got these from a fellow hobbyist goldfish breeder named Amy Shanka. She's very well known in the goldfish community for producing these beautiful, gorgeous, long-tail black moors. It's really hard to get a good appreciation of them from the top view. Let me see if I can. Look at that tail.
Beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Velvety.
So it's called a broadtail because the edge of the tail is straight, whereas, see how it's straight?
Right.
Whereas normally a goldfish tail would be really heavily forked.
Yeah.
So that's why they're called broadtail moors. Gorgeous fish.
Very nice. Moving over. Got a few more in here. What do we got in here?
These are my female butterfly telescope goldfish. Anyone who knows me knows that I love the butterfly telescopes, and the reason is when you look at them from above, they have this gorgeous tail that really spreads out like the outspread wings of a butterfly. Sometimes they've got like little ruffles in it too, like this one, her tail is pretty ruffled. This is my tank of females. This one actually just spawned a few days ago, probably about a week ago, and I have some babies from her. And this was one that I bred myself about 2-3 years ago. So it's pretty exciting to be producing babies from an adult that I actually bred. It's pretty neat.
Absolutely. Very cool. And then it's like they're getting bigger and bigger. Like it's really difficult to show you guys how big these guys are, but man, they're huge. Look at it's bigger than her hand.
It's way bigger. And these are my males. This is probably my biggest butterfly telescope that I have right now. Really cool color pattern with the black and red. Yeah. But unfortunately, the black usually goes away. This fish used to be all black.
He used to be all black?
Yep.
Oh, no way.
And then slowly the black started creeping up the sides and to the point where it is now, where it's just black on the edges of the fins.
It looks really pretty as is. Is he going to lose that black completely?
I do think so. Sometimes they'll stay like this for a number of years and then turn completely orange.
Right.
Sometimes there's even some orange and white pattern under there. But he has been getting progressively less black on him, so I think he's going to go all orange. This is my favorite. I do play favorites. This is Clyde. He's kind of my mascot of my fish room. He actually...
Is that the one that's, I know you got a coloring of him, or is that the one that's also the stuffed animal in there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's him. He used to be a panda, which means black and white. Anywhere you see on his body that is red now used to be black.
Really?
Yeah. He was almost all black with just like a white belly and a white face.
So why does that happen?
It's called demelanization. Pretty much all goldfish have a demelanizing gene, which means the black color will go away, the melanin will go away. Some goldfish, it happens when they're fry. That's why they'll have a fry coloring, which is kind of like a dark brownish green. Right. And then they demelanize to their adult color, which is usually red and white or red and white. Some goldfish just demelanize later in life. So that's what happens with pandas.
Huh. Interesting.
And then some, like this guy here, they just stay black for their whole life. And it's really hard when you have a young fish that's black to know if they're going to stay that color or not over time. There's really no way to know unless you know the lineage and the parentage of that fish.
Sweetie, keeps going. Keeps going. Wait till you guys see these other ones over here on the we're getting to here soon. He's so big. What are these guys?
These are called Jekians. They are one of my newest additions to my fish room. I used to have only butterfly telescopes, and then I did start branching out and getting some other types. These guys are a bit harder to catch.
Yeah, they look more.
Yeah.
They look more so like the common goldfish.
Right. They have like that longer body, but their tail is really what sets them apart, and it's really the unique feature of this fish. It's supposed to resemble like an X shape, especially when viewed from behind.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see it.
It spreads out kind of on a horizontal plane, or perpendicular to the body of the fish. Some of these aren't quite as good of examples of it. Like, you know, the tails are kind of pinched on these ones.
Right.
But this one has a better spread on its tail.
Interesting.
And they're really known for the color pattern too, which is mostly white. This one has the best color pattern compared as far as what they're supposed to have.
Right.
It's supposed to be all white with just red fins, red eyes, and red gill covers. That's very hard to get, and actually some breeders will, and I don't agree with this, but some breeders will pluck the red scales off of the fish
Oh, wow.
over time so that they're left with a white body on the fish. Because when the scales grow back, they'll be clear.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of breeders, a lot of distributors, a lot of things happen to the fish prior to getting to the consumer, and we don't know about it for the most part. But a lot of things do happen.
Obviously, it hasn't been done with mine because they have a lot of red on them.
Right.
Which I prefer. I think.
But you got a lot of scales collected.
I do.
Who knows? Maybe you're the one.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Nefarious.
They get more. Goldfish really look really interesting from above. It gives you a whole new perspective. It's like the arowana. It really shows their body shape and finnage and.
I suppose since arowana are such large fish, a lot of people probably keep them in ponds. Is that right?
Yeah. I like to see them from above, and you can really see the dragon, the wings and whatnot from it. But these guys are somewhat similar in that you can appreciate them from a glass panel like we're going to see here in a minute and see them from the side, but seeing them from above is a whole new perspective.
Ideally, I would love to be able to have both views. So have a big tank like this, but have a big clear viewing panel in it. That would be awesome.
Yeah. They make them in those koi vats where you can have like a viewing panel, but
you could probably. I've thought about installing one on there, but I'm not super confident.
well, since it's rounded, you don't need as thick of an acrylic, but it's getting it to form. That is the problem. You're going to need an oven big enough to put it in. You could try it with heat guns. It's just not going to be practical, I guess you could say. Then you do have some ones. Start up top here. What are these guys?
These are butterfly telescopes. These are ones that I've bred. They're my most recent batch of babies, aside from the 1 week old.
Oh, you bred these guys?
Yep, I bred these ones.
Oh, nice.
And some of my my viewers helped me name some of them.
What are their names?
I have so many names to remember. I know the names of these ones. You guys are going to have to help me out if you remember what we named those ones. This one is Luna.
Luna.
We named her after my big white butterfly telescope that I used to have named Luca.
Right.
He was my oldest fish until he recently passed away.
Oh.
Then we have Sophia here.
Sophia.
They're begging for food. And we named her also after one of my other fish that I had that recently passed away. She was this huge, massive fish. Also, probably the mother of these is what she was too. Her name was Sophie. So
Sophie.
Somebody suggested, name that one Sophia.
You have all girl names. You need some guy names.
Well, I have Clyde.
You gotta name one of them Joey.
I should. Which one?
Well, it has to be the prettiest one.
Oh,
Let me
of course.
see. Oh, we can't show this one yet. This tank's pretty interesting. You guys will see that in a sec.
Those guys already have names.
Yeah, I was gonna say this guy here because he was my favorite so far.
His name is Corduroy.
Corduroy? He looks like a Joey.
Did you ever watch or see the books about Corduroy, the bear?
No.
Oh.
Maybe.
Well, there's this teddy bear who comes to life, and his name is Corduroy.
Okay.
And I wanted to name him Teddy because he just looks like a teddy bear to me.
Right.
But I think that's too obvious, so I decided to name him Corduroy instead.
Oh. What's the other guy's name?
That's Cordelia.
Cordelia.
They have to match.
Cordelia. I don't know how you remember all these names.
I know, that's why I can't remember some of them.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
These are really nice. And these are like way bigger than they look. If I put my hand up to
Right.
both sides, I'm like, he's bigger than my hand. They're huge.
Very big fish. I would like to have them in a bigger tank. Right now they're in a 40-gallon breeder, which gives them each 20 gallons of space, which is enough.
Yeah.
But ideally, for a fish that size, I would like to have her in a bigger tank.
Right.
And I will eventually.
Moving over, we already talked about these guys, eh?
Yep.
Down low, she got some axolotls. Is that how you say it? How do you
Axolotl.
Axolotls.
Yeah. How do you Canadians say it? Axolotl?
I don't know, that's just how I say
That's
it.
just a Joeyism.
Yeah. No, I had them a long time ago, but I always found them interesting because it's like a snapshot in evolution. Where it's
really
almost,
interactive.
it's like a fish that's transforming to a land lizard or a salamander of some sort.
And they call them neonitic because they're still kind of stuck in like a neonatal phase.
Yeah.
A larval phase.
Right. Very cool. And you've got 3 of them. Did you name them?
I'm working on names. They're pretty new. I only got them a couple of weeks ago.
Did you sex them? Do you know what they are?
They came to me already sexed as females.
All females. Axolotls?
Yeah.
Axolotls.
You know what? I like that better. It's easier to say.
Yeah. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
they're pretty fun.
And then you get the babies. These are your babies.
Yeah, my newest babies.
I don't know if we'll be able to see one, but there's tiny little specks. These are them. See if we can pick them up here. I don't know if it'll focus or not. I doubt it. But and these are, you bred these, right?
Yeah, just about a week ago is when they hatched.
How many's in there? Just a few?
I actually,
No clue.
I
eh?
actually counted them. One
You
by
counted them?
There's 158 right now. The
150.
reason I do that is it's interesting to me to see how many I have from the start
Right.
to the end when they're bigger like this.
Yeah.
Because there is some culling that has to happen with goldfish. Some are just born deformed.
Yeah.
And obviously it wouldn't be humane to let them continue to live. So there's some culling that goes on. There's also usually like a die-off that happens just because they're not fit to survive. Goldfish are pretty modified fish compared to many other aquarium fish. So I just find it interesting to see how many there are at the start and then the end.
And just some basic filtration you've got. This looks like it was reef ready at one point. You get the overflow built into it.
Yep.
Interesting.
Got a sump underneath.
Oh, does it?
I was using it up until the goldfish actually spawned in this aquarium and there were eggs stuck on the bottom and the sides.
Oh, no way.
So I wanted to save those eggs, and there's really no way to move them once they're stuck onto something.
Right.
So I just drained the water level, put a sponge filter in there, and took out the biomedia that I have in this aquarium and put it in other filters.
Right. All right, well, Jenny has something inside as well that we haven't showed you yet. Some fish and a new tank that I was excited to see as soon as I seen them. So let's go take a look at that now.
All right.
All right. So the tank I was excited about, and one of the first ones you see when you come in the house here, is this tank here. But the fish that she got is what's exciting to me. They're relatively new, so they're a little hiding right now. We'll show you here in a minute. Jenny, tell me what we got working here.
I got discus. Yep, I did. For my first fish, aside from what I usually keep, which are goldfish or bettas, I've had a few bettas over the years too. I decided to not go easy on myself. I decided to get what is usually touted as one of the most difficult freshwater aquarium fish to keep.
Right.
So I guess I just like a challenge, or I'm a sucker for punishment. Either.
And you've got 4 in there so far. You're gonna have a few more, I think you said, with some tetras.
Yeah.
And you like a beautifully scaped discus aquarium. You've got some. Well, you tell us what you got. You got some checkerboards. It looks like some pigeon bloods.
2 golden pigeons is what they were sold to me as, and then 2 classic leopards.
Classic leopards. Awesome.
And then I've got the fake rock background, just a thin layer of sand, and then the driftwood. And we were just talking about having the driftwood in there may actually make them more likely to feel like they need to hide.
Yeah.
So I may look at removing that in the future, or getting some maybe spiderwood, something that's thinner.
You know, well, they've only been here for a week, so they need a little bit more time to settle in. But yeah, you're right. With the driftwood being in there, and them being so small, they do have a tendency to hide. And a lot of the times, discus are grown out, you know, completely bare tanks. A lot of people don't like to see bare bottom tanks, more so because they don't understand it. However, usually it's advised to grow them out to adults in a bare tank, then put them in an aquascape tank. But there's no harm really in and doing it from the start to just be a little bit more challenging, which you're up for, so
yeah,
I think you'll do fine.
Yeah, I'm no stranger. I mean, I already keep my goldfish tanks really clean. I do massive water changes to the point where people question me about it all the time. But they just don't understand that actually the beneficial bacteria is not living in the water, it's living in your filter media.
Right.
So you can do really large water changes. You have to make sure the temperature and the pH is the same. But so, like I said, I'm no stranger to large water changes frequently, and I'm not scared. I'm up for the challenge.
Perfect. Well, Jenny, thanks for having me here. I know everybody probably enjoyed getting a really good behind-the-scenes look at what goes on in your world and on your channel. But if you guys want to see more of her, which I highly suggest you do, check her out at Solid Gold Aquatics. I'll leave a link to her channel in the description below. She's a great girl, and I'd appreciate it if you give her some support, subscribe to her channel. She's got some really cool videos coming out soon that I know you guys will enjoy. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. I'd also like to thank you for watching, and if you join me next week, I will have something new for you.